Hello, welcome to week 3, class 2. We're going to be covering endurance today. So you don't really need any equipment except for a stable surface to have by your side, whether that's a chair or a table, or also bands. But those are optional if you need them. And so what we're going to do is, first of all, just put a safety precaution out there. If any of these exercises make you feel unsafe and you need to take a break and sit down, we encourage to do that, to pause the video and take your break. With endurance stuff especially, we don't want to be having any risk of falling, so make sure that if you don't feel safe that you take a break and you take a sip of water or a little minute sit down. And then also with the exercise log, make sure that you're filling out the RPE, or the rate of perceived exertion. So throughout the exercises, just keep a note in your mind, and then at the end rate it on a scale of 0 to 10. With 0 being this is super easy, this is the lightest thing I've ever done, and 10 being this is the hardest workout I've ever done. And then keep an average throughout the whole class today and just mark it in your exercise log at the end of the session. And then also you can start your Apple Watches or Fitbit. If you want to take your average heart rate, you can start a class of just more of a core workout, and then take that average and document it in the exercise log at the end of the class. The structure today is we're going to be doing a little 2 to 3 minute warm up just to get those legs and every muscle activated, and then we're going to go 2 rounds of 45 seconds. And this class is going to be a little bit different. We're going to start with the march progression, but we'll get there when we get there. So if you need to pause the video and get any equipment, some water or a towel, feel free to do so, and then we're going to start with our warm up. All right, welcome back. If you pause the video, our warm-up's going to be a lot leg focused today, so we're going to start by just bringing that knee up to the chest and just holding it, and then switch. Good, and then switch. We're going to go 2 more times on each side, so just hold it, get that stretch, try to go a little bit farther, and switch. Let's just stretch out that arm, bring it right across your chest. You can use your other arm to pull it in, keeping that back straight. And let those arms flop, and then switch to the other side. You should feel it in your chest, along the back side of your arm here. And let them loose, and switch. After this, we'll do 1 more on each side. So this will be round 2 of 3. Good. Kind of roll your shoulders into it. And 1 more time. Out and lean forward, feeling that in our core, feeling it in our back, just stretching, and then back up, switch. And it's 3 times each side. Good. 1 more time. That we're going to do is just breathe. So take a deep breath in and then out, and then 1 more time, breathe in, kind of get that stretch, that back up and out. Good. Now I I said that we were going to start off this class a little bit differently, so what we're going to start with is actually a march progression. So everybody will be doing the same thing in some way, but Shelby will be demonstrating more of a seated position, Jemai is going to be demonstrating that intermediate position, and I will be doing advanced. So the way this march progression works is each set is going to be 15 seconds. We're only doing one round of the whole thing, and I'm going to go through all the exercises here first, and I'll remind you as we go through which one's coming next before we start. But all of this will be done with no break, unless if you need it, you can take a seat and water if you need it, but all this should be done straight through if you can. So first what we're going to do is a long step. So Shelby will demonstrate in seated. She's taking a long step and just kind of letting a forward lean come up. Jemai will be demonstrating more of a smaller long step, just kind of taking his time, having that controlled surface, and I will be doing at a faster pace, long step, with a little bit of an arm swing added into it. Next is going to be our march. So just like you were in marching band, you're not going to go as far as you need to, but just bringing that foot up. And then I will be trying to lift the opposite arm and the opposite leg. The next is high knees, so exactly as it sounds, you're trying to kind of over-exaggerate those knees. So Shelby's demonstrating in seated, bringing the knees to the chest. Jemai will be going at a nice and controlled pace, trying to bring all the way up, and I'll be adding in that arm component, switching arm and leg. Then we're going to be doing marches again. If you need to see that, it's just, again, taking smaller steps, almost like small high knees. And then we're going to be adding in an arm swing. So just the arm swing for Shelby is going to be a simple twist. So she's going to step and twist. And then Jemai will be adding a smaller component. So just a small step and then twist. And then I'll be adding a big arm swing and big step. All right, if you need to pause the video and just kind of collect yourselves, pause the video now, but we're going to start in about 15 seconds. And again, I will call out when the next one is going to be happening. So just try to follow along and grab your water and get ready. Here we go. Ready? Begin with long step. Good. Make sure that you have that stable surface. And we're going into marches and march. Good. If you need to take your time to get into it, like take a couple steps before adding in something, feel free to do so. We're switching to high knees right now. Really over-exaggerate those knees. We're going to go back to marches. 3, 2, 1. Back to marches. And we're going to be going into arm swings in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So arm swings, take a big step if you're with me. And to marches, back to marches. There you go. And rest. Good. We only had to do one round of that. That was more just like a warm-up / right get into it. Our second set of exercises is going to be arm swings with a freestyle focus. And so freestyle, if you've ever seen the Olympics or swimming before, that's just kind of doing big arm circles just over your head. And so Shelby's going to be demonstrated in seated. So she's rotating her body. And then Jemai's going to be demonstrating a slower arm swing. So he's just going at a nice and controlled pace. And then what I'm going to do is I'm adding a mini squat. And I'm just going at a faster pace. Really trying to just control my shoulders and rotation. We're going to be going in 15 seconds here. Again, this is 2 rounds of 45 seconds, so make sure you have your water next to you or a towel, and we go in 5. Ready, begin. Good, make sure you have your stable surface next to you if you're doing one of the standing, and you're just trying to go at a controlled pace. I might be going a little too fast for you, and if you need to just slow it down a little bit, stay with me. There you go, just like Katie the Decker. Seconds here, try to get 2 or 3 more in, and rest. Shake out those arms. I'm going to go again in about 15 seconds here. So just shake out those arms, and if you're like me and your mind standing, you might need to shake out those legs. Going for round 2 and 5. Ready? Begin. Safety is our main primary goal here, so make sure that you're choosing something that's challenging for you. And if you need that stable surface, make sure you have it right next to you. Keep it up. Got about 25 more seconds here. Great job. I know, that really takes a toll on your shoulders. But imagine if you were a swimmer and you did that every day. But now take a break, stretch out those shoulders, get some water. Our next exercise is going to be leg focus. So don't worry if your arms are a little bit sore. Shelby's going to be demonstrating seated hip abduction. And what that just means is that she's tying a band around her legs. You can even just hold your legs with your hands. And you're just pushing out. And she's trying to keep her feet still. So she's pushing out against the band, feeling that stretch. Jemiah's going to be demonstrating a side step. So with his stable surface, he's just going out to the side. And then I'll be demonstrating a banded side step. So reaching out, feeling that stretch of the band, coming right to it. Trying to keep tension on the band the whole time if you're doing this. So we're going to go for our 2 rounds in 5. Get your equipment ready, get in that squat, and begin. Keep it up, guys. 25 more seconds here. Try to keep resistance if you have a band on the whole time. If you're following Jemiah, just keep it nice and controlled, that mini squat. Good, 10 more seconds. And rest. See a nice break from the arms, all legs here. So, again, shake out your legs. We're going to go in about 15 seconds. Make sure you're getting a sip of water or wiping off. And begin. Up here, 25 more seconds. Great job. You can take your bands off. We have 2 more exercises before our cool down. So just hang in there, get a sip of water. Our next exercise is going to be uppercuts. Shelby's going to be demonstrating a seated. She's staying in control. She's uppercutting just like she was a boxer. Jemai's going to be taking a tandem step, so he's going to have one foot in front of the other. I'm just going nice and slow. I'm going to be in that tandem step but in a mini squat and going at a faster pace. So we're going to go in about 10 seconds here. So wipe off if you need your towel, and then also take a sip of water. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1, begin. Try to stay in control, staying even with both arms. 5 more seconds here. Keep it up. More seconds. Try to get 5 more in. And rest. Great job. Shake out those arms, stretch out that back maybe. All right, we go in about 10 seconds here for round 2. Keep it up, you guys are doing great. And if you need to, switch legs. You started with your right foot, switch over to your left. And round 2, begin. Keep it up here. 20 more seconds. You guys are doing great. More seconds. Push it for a little bit longer. And rest. Great job. Now, I know you guys might be a little out of breath, so make sure you're drinking some water. But now the last exercise we're all going to be doing in seated. So make sure you get your chair. Shelby's going to be demonstrating seated scissor kicks, but she's going to be going at a really slow and controlled pace. Jemai is going to be doing scissor kicks at a faster pace, and I'll be demonstrating banded scissor kicks. So again, at a faster pace, but kind of going against the band. You can tell this is a very swimming-oriented video because we had freestyle earlier, and now we're doing the kicks. So we're going to go in 15 seconds. Make sure you have the right equipment. If you need to tie the band a little bit tighter, you can. 10 seconds, and we got 2 more rounds before our cool down. And begin. Try to keep resistance in that band if you're following me. For others, make sure that you're keeping that nice and controlled pace. Keep it up here. 30 more seconds. More seconds. Keep it up. Feel it all throughout your leg. And rest. Great job. You got 1 more round, and then we do our little cool down. Grab some water, wipe off with a towel. We're going to go in about 10 seconds here. And in 5. Ready, begin. Keep that back straight. Keep those legs moving. That's 15 seconds, 30 more. Keep it up. That's 30 seconds, 15 more. Try to get a couple more in. Great job. Take off your equipment. Get a sip of water. Pat yourself on the back. Endurance day is always the fun one. All right, you guys completed the exercise program, so we're gonna do a little 2 to 3 minute cool down. So first we're just gonna start with some deep breaths in with our arms raising up. So just breathe in. Raise those arms up, look up towards the sky, and exhale. Good. We're going to do that 2 more times. So breathe in, let those arms come up. Almost extend that back up. And exhale. You can even come down and kind of let your shoulders drop. And one more time, breathe in. And exhale. Now what we're going to do is just stretch out our arms a little bit. So we're just going to take one arm and bring it across. We're going to feel a little bit of pressure. You can push on your arm a little bit more if you need more of a stretch. Good, and let those arms shake and switch. Keep that pressure, keep breathing, and switch. Try to get a little bit farther every time you switch to an arm. Good, and switch. And after this, we'll do it one more time on each arm. And last one. Always feels good to stretch it out. Alright, now we're going to just shake out the legs a little bit. So if you can you just put one leg out on your heel and just lean over to touch that toe if you can, or if you want to try to grab the bottom of your foot, kind of pulse back and forth, and switch. Good. And switch, trying to get a little bit farther again. Really feel that stretch in your calf and maybe the back of your leg. Even let that head come down. And switch. One more time on each side. Maybe as you find yourself getting more into this, you can straighten that knee out. And last one. All right, and to finish up the cool down, we just want to practice sitting up nice and tall, making sure that our back is straight. And we're just going to take 3 deep breaths in with the 2 to 3 second hold. So just breathe in, let that chest expand, and out. And breathe in, trying to get a little bit more air than last time, and out. And last one, big breath in, and out. And that completes our exercise program for week 3, class 3. So again, make sure that you're filling out your exercise log with that RPE scale, that being from 0 to 10, 0 being this was a piece of cake, and then 10 being this was one of the hardest workouts I've ever done. And if you've been tracking your heart rate with your heart rate monitor, be sure to take the average and put any notes in that exercise log. We'll see you for our last week in week 4. Thank you.